Hi everyone, Trina Baker here. This is my video about the middle ear for Fort Hays State University's Anatomy and Physiology Speech and Hearing Mechanism. The middle ear is between the outer and inner ear. Like the outer ear, the middle ear is meant to be air-filled and functions to amplify sound. It's in an air-filled cavity that's located in the skull and the temporal bone, but not quite as tucked in there as the inner ear. As mentioned in the lecture, it's all in a really small area. And if you've ever had like an earache or anything before, right around in this area, that's what I'm talking about. The three divisions of the middle ear are shown in the illustration. The upper section, let me see if I can, the upper section here, the epitympanum, which I'm probably not saying right, is above the eardrum or the tympanic membrane. And it includes the head of the malleus, the body of the incus, and the middle section, the mesotympanum, right here. And it's defined by the top of the eardrum and the bottom of the eardrum. And that is where most of the activity takes place in the middle ear, because most of the stuff is in this section, just a little bit's up here. And then the bottom section, the hypotympanum, down here, the lowest section, there's not really much going on there, except for the eustachian tube or auditory tube. And there is a big vein there that doctors have to be aware of during middle ear surgery. So the highlights of the middle ear, the things that we want to be sure to remember about the middle ear. Of course, at the beginning, we have the tympanic membrane, the eardrum right here. And we need that to be able to hear. And the sound that comes through the outer ear makes this vibrate, and that will vibrate the ossicular chain of the ossicles. Those are the little bones, the malleus, the incus, and the stapes, which are also the smallest bones in our bodies, which is kind of cool to know. But they all vibrate together, so it brings the vibration through here. It vibrates, and then it makes the stapes go in and out of the oval window on the cochlea. The round and oval windows are also here on the edge here. They're entrances to the cochlea. There's a membrane on the round window, and then the stapes is covering up the oval window. There are also ligaments and muscles in the middle ear that are important. Some of the ones of note are in this illustration, which is why I picked it out, because I thought it looked pretty good. They're pretty little. They help to hold the ossicles kind of still. One of them does, and then one of them helps hold the eardrum still more, so they get stiffer, so they don't vibrate quite as much. And that's to reduce the damage that could happen if we hear something like really, really loud. And, we might even get pain from it. Well, that reduces that, so it could be worse. So those muscles work together to help not quite vibrate as much as they could, so we don't have damage to our ear. So those are important to that. And then the auditory tube down here, that is important because it helps equalize the pressure in our ears, kind of like when our ears pop, because they're supposed to be air-filled. It also helps with making sure that fluid is drained, because we don't want to sound like we're underwater. So if, like in kids, if their heads aren't quite tilted in their ears enough, they can pool a lot of fluid there, and that can impair their hearing. And so they may have to have ear tubes put in to help those drain until their heads grow to kind of help it drain better. Or if you have some kind of blockage, like if you have a bad cold or something and it's not draining like it should, then that can also impair your hearing. Because, again, that's to kind of keep the fluid out and keep the air in so we can hear and everything can vibrate and move around like it's supposed to in there. Credit for the content and for the illustrations of the middle ear go to our class text. Thank you for watching.